Pandits of Kashmir are too rich and powerful. They hold all the government posts. They must be taught a lesson. Die Zoden sind so reich und wohlhabend, sie müssen zu Boden gebracht werden. Iraq has too much power and influence in the region. They need to be brought to the ground. Iraq is a part of an axis of evil. These last three statements, pardon me for the bad acting, but these last three statements had one thing in common. They, in the name of wealth, excluded a certain community and led to the perpetration of some of the worst crimes possible to humanity. So, when we talk about everything, when we talk about minority, majority, there is one more T that is more important, and that is humanity. In the course of this documentary, we will talk about what happened to the Pandits of Kashmir and how they were driven out of their valley because of a lack of humanity, and what can be done to correct this grave evil.
चलेगा काफिला यारों का साथ, सजेंगे शिकारे दुल्हन से, लहराती झीलों की बुझेगी प्यास, गूंजेगी लोरियां गलियों में, फिर बच्चों की किलकारियां बांधेगी समा, फिर लिखी जाएगी एक नई कलम से कश्मीर की तकदीर.
And they are a minority. As per Indian Constitution, they get all the benefits. And we, a single-digit minority in Kashmir Valley, were majority who were discriminated against and chased out because even that small minority could not be tolerated. And why it couldn't be tolerated? We, this minority in Kashmir, did not stay in ghettos. We were in every mohalla, every city, every district headquarter, every district, every village of Kashmir. Even if we lived as minority of one household surrounded by scores of non-Muslim households, we lived there. If in some villages as an exception we did not exist, we reached there because we were part of either post and telegraph or telephone, or we were school teachers, or we were part of the primary health center. Some reason we had access to the village and the population if we not lived there. So we knew every square inch of the valley by the back of our hands, and we were patriots. So if you had to create a movement of secessionism from India, you could not afford to have people who could be considered as eyes and ears of India. So the first thing you had, who knew the language, who knew the terrain, who knew the troublemakers, who knew who was up to what, and therefore could become a great deterrent. So we were killed in a targeted manner. The icons of our society were targeted, killed in marketplaces, thoroughfares, in their homes with impunity. Justice Neelkant Ganju was killed, a retired man in his 70s. Professor Sarvanand Kaul Premi was killed right in the middle of his brows where he used to make a tilak. This scholar of Sanskrit had translated Quran into Sanskrit. He was a scholar of Persian and Sanskrit both. And he used to keep that copy of translated Quran in Sanskrit at the place of his worship.
Sri Pandit, in the previous part, mentions about the fact that certain Hindus were actually very pluralistic in their nature, and they wanted to live peacefully with the Muslims of Kashmir. So, were all the Muslims bad? Were all the Muslims so bad that they wanted to kill the Hindus? Let's hear from Sri Pandit himself.
Kashmiri separatist movement is part of aggressive Islamic assertion which even lot of peaceful, reasonable Muslims don't agree with. But Indian state doesn't stand with those peaceful, moderate Muslims. Indian state goes knocking at the doors of jihadis and is willing to be humiliated outside their door.
ये बर्फ चादर है ऋषियों मुनियों की, यहाँ बसते हैं पीर फकीर, मिट जाएंगी पूरियों की बनाई हुई हर वो लकीर। इस बार हम छोड़ेंगे कश्मीर पर अपनी तासीर, फिर लिखी जाएगी एक नई कलम से कश्मीर की तकदीर।
Kashmir was a land of great knowledge from the earliest times. And to get it back to its earlier glory, we need to be accommodative of everyone. Let it be the Pandits, the Gaddis, or the Siddhis, or the majority Muslims. Anyone wanting to live peacefully in Kashmir should be given a chance to live peacefully in Kashmir. Because, as it has been seen, inclusion always wins and diversity is important. Thank you.